guys, it's me again, Travel Teach, Courtney. This was not a video that I planned to do actually, but considering what has happened today, I decided that I should make a video about it. You can see I don't look the best. I have I've been working for 10 hours. I just finished 20 classes on PalFish. It was pretty much an all-day ordeal. So I started at 8:30 this morning. Remember, I'm on Beijing time, so this makes my day a lot easier. I started at 8:30. I worked straight from 8:30 until 12:30 p.m. I taught one class from 1:30 to 2 and from 3 to 3:30, and then I worked straight from 4 until 7:30, and then I worked straight from 8 until 9:30. It's been a long time. I'll show you a shot of my schedule now, in case you didn't get all of that. This video is pretty much aimed at telling you how to survive a 10-hour day on PalFish. Of course, if you're new to PalFish or you've been there for a month or 2 months, maybe you're not quite in the mood or in the zone to be doing a 10-hour day. But it is possible, especially if you've sold a lot of packages and you can still get a lot of trial students. So right now I want to talk about, first of all, how do I make my device's battery last 10 hours? I'm currently using an iPad, a newer 2018 released iPad, and as you know, probably, Apple products don't have the best reputation for having strong batteries. So in order to help my battery life, I turn my iPad to night mode. It's better for your eyes anyway. You will learn after having a lot of classes back to back, looking at a screen, you need night mode to make your eyes more calm. So my iPad's on night mode, and that heavily helps the battery. I also use as little light on the screen and as little volume as possible during most lessons, because most students can hear me and I can hear them totally fine. And also, of course, during the day, if I ever have any free time, meaning if I ever have a time slot that's not full or I have a break, then I immediately go to the charging station and charge my iPad. Right now, this is the very end of the day, as you already know, and I have about 16%, and I'm using a portable charger to charge it right now. Unfortunately, during class, the iPad has to be vertical, and since it's vertical, and considering my case and how I put it up onto a box on top of my desk, I can't charge it while I'm in class, so that can be a pretty big problem. But the first thing you want to make sure, of course, in a 10-hour day on PalFish is to make sure your battery lasts long enough. The second thing you're probably wondering is, how do you eat? How do you drink? How is your voice still operating? It's definitely not operating on 100%. It hasn't been for the past month. But what do? I drink a ton of water. And I would say I probably fill my bottle between every 3 and 4 classes. There is a rule on PalFish that you're not supposed to drink during classes, but I interpret this rule as you're not supposed to drink things that aren't water or tea, right? Because we're teachers. Parents can understand that we need to keep ourselves hydrated. This week alone, I have had at least 3 crazy coughing fits that there's no way I would have been able to survive without water. So, gotta have water, gotta drink water. And parents are understanding of that. Nobody has said anything about that. Another thing that I have are these wonderful little cough drop pastels, whatever you'd like to call them, called Vocal Zone. As you can imagine, Vocal Zone really helps my vocal zone. One of my friends who's a teacher in Turkey introduced me to these, and they're amazing. Right now I've had a cough for like about 2 weeks or so, and it hasn't exactly helped me from not coughing, but they definitely help to refreshen and revive my voice. And they are fairly natural, I would say. So maybe the bigger question here is, how do you survive all of those classes? And how exactly were the classes split up? Looking on the stats of my class today, I had 11 trial lessons and I had 9 regular lessons. So this was 20 lessons planned for. So out of these 20 lessons, 3 of the lessons were no-shows. No-show means the student didn't show up. And the very last student I had today wasn't feeling the class and he ran away. His mother and his father both apologized to me, which is totally fine and normal. But I will say that my ability to handle these classes and to handle the high volume, 20 classes, it doesn't sound like a lot, but 20 students is a lot. My ability to handle the volume is because I had a mixture of trial and regular students. When you're teaching trials, you're primarily teaching pre-K and starter trials. Sometimes there's level 1 to 4 mixed in there, but those are not going to be the majority of what you're getting. If you're me, maybe for those people who sell level 2, level 3 packages more often, then maybe you're going to get more of those older students. But as far as I know, my primary base is for younger students ages 3 to 5 or 6. So the majority of the trials that I'm getting are those students that age. So after a while, monkey, pig, and panda, and rabbit, fish, and parrot get very boring. So if you're just starting out, I would recommend you to really get your moments out there. Go and follow the students who are regular students. I talked about this in my live lesson on PalFish actually, about how to have a higher conversion rate. But the point here is that you can go in on the app and you can see who has already purchased lessons. And when you go and follow those students, if you go and follow them like I do in mass quantity whenever the lessons are done for the day, then you will definitely get some of those back and they'll check out your lessons, especially if you're new, because that means that your hot spots are not taken. So I would definitely suggest, before you think about doing a 10-hour day, to have some regulars and be booked with regulars. Another way that I made this easy for myself is that I didn't open all of my slots all at once. I opened some slots that I knew I would feel comfortable with teaching, and then last night and this morning I decided to open more throughout the day because I felt like, okay, I can do this. I can try a 10-hour day. How do I feel that the classes went? I can say that around the 7:30 p.m. slots, I started to feel pretty tired, but not necessarily physically tired. I think I was a little bit mentally tired. So the quality of my lessons might not have been as high, but I was really lucky today because my 7:30 actually canceled I'm not sure why. It was a trial lesson. So I would have had 21, 10 and a half hours, but now it's just 20. But anyway, the student canceled and I had a little bit of a break, so I was able to kind of recharge. And I think it's important whenever you're teaching to think about the quality of your lessons and to realize what's your limit. So right now I can say I know that teaching 9 or 10 classes in a row is definitely past my limit, and I need to give myself at least a 30-minute break. As I talked about in my journey video, the PalFish journey will be different for everyone, so what you can handle is totally up to you. I know there are some PalFish legends who just go at it all day and do many more than 20 classes in a day, and they're fine afterwards. But I also know people who like to have a break, every 4 or 5 classes. So you will figure out your pace in the PalFish game. So, how do I feel? I don't really want to teach another class right now, but I don't feel terrible either. I feel very motivated. And I feel more motivated knowing that I did do some trial lessons today, and maybe there will be buyers from those. Just before I made this video, I found out that I did sell one today already, which is great news. Sold it right after the class. Absolutely connected with the child, so that felt wonderful. So since I've been on PalFish for 6 months, I've sold 39 trials. And that means for each trial, I got a 200 RMB bonus. So altogether, I've gotten 7,800 RMB in bonuses just as passive income. This is another reason that makes PalFish great and can make you motivated to teach more trial lessons and to get more trials. If you're struggling with the 80% rule, the 80% rule says that if you're 80% booked, that you can't have any trials at the moment. That trials cannot be booked in your open slots. If you're struggling with that, there are some ways around that. As I mentioned earlier in the video, I actually opened some of my slots today, and that helped me get past the 80% rule. So that was great. If you need help with that, please feel free to message me or to let me know, and I can help you see how you can get around that situation without maybe messing up your normal schedule. But anyway, as I said, I don't want to go teach another lesson. I don't really want to do anything right now except maybe eat and just hang out, and definitely stop talking. But I wanted to let you know it is possible to survive a 10-hour day on PalFish. I wish you the best of luck in your own PalFish journey. And I hope that everybody can work themselves up to 10 hours, if that's for you. If that's not for you, don't do that, because you might not feel great after. Okay guys, that's all. Just wanted to share my update with you. See you later.